everybody. I meant to do this as a scheduled thing to go later, but I couldn't quite get it set up right for some reason. I don't know. I had a brand thing. And so here it is live anyway, right on the heels of my last review. And I don't know if I ever properly explained this. My camera is here. My new camera is here. And over there is the laptop that shows me the display of what you guys are seeing so that I can monitor and make sure the quality is good. And also I can check out the chat room. So every time I look over there, I'm checking on that stuff to see if anybody's popped in the chat or see if there's anything going weird or just to make sure that I don't have like a booger or something. I don't know. So if you ever wonder why I'm constantly like looking over there, now you know. I have to kind of train myself to stick to the camera view here and occasionally glance over for the chat room. So, but what do we have tonight? Tonight we have, some of you may remember the golden age of Saturday Night Live, where it used to be funny. Back with people like Chris Farley and David Spade and Kevin Nealon and all those folks. And one of my favorite sketches was Tim Meadows, the Ladies Man. And it was hilarious. It was so bad. And they made a movie, of course, as they do with certain Saturday Night Live characters. And the movie was stupid, but it was funny. It was funny. It had Tim Meadows. It had Will Ferrell, and it had a few other people in it. Funny movie. Very funny movie. But one of the things that he always had in his sketch was he would drink a cognac called Courvoisier. Okay? And he would pronounce it different ways. He sometimes says Cervasier or Courvoisier or whatever. But so I always saw it in the store. It wasn't very expensive, and it would make sense. It's kind of a cheap cognac for a character who's kind of tacky, right? So I always said that I'd get some at some point. That's not a joke because of buying the Courvoisier and Ladies Man. That's not a get some joke. I'd get some of this and see how it went. Now I've already opened this bottle and I've had a little bit, and not tonight, so I'm gonna do a fresh tasting for you guys here. But it is certainly not as good as something slightly more expensive like the Douce. The Douce is so far my tip top. But there's some other really good cognacs out there too, and I'm going to try to expand my palate a little bit and try to get more into other cognacs. And I would like to kind of try a larger variety. That way, I'm kind of branching out from the whiskey kind of typecast where I'm at. So, Courvoisier. This was about. Still getting over that cough. The cough is always the last thing to get over with a cold. This is, or was, in my local grocery store, I believe $35.99 before tax, etc. I also noticed that in my videos, I perpetually touch my nose like all the time, and my nose gets itchy. Now, there's a weird thing involving nose scratching that is not true in my case. I'm not, look it up if you want to find out. There's something about nose scratching when people have their attention on you. But in my case, that's not the fact. Like, you'd know once you look it up. You'll know. But that's not the case. But so I'm going to try some of this here. It's not as good as the Douce, like I said. It has a nice little dull cork pop there. Pour it into my glass. It's a good color. A nice brown, nice slightly reddish brown color there. So it's a good look at the brown stuff. Little fruity, a little bit of berry on the nose there. but it also definitely smells. You can smell the alcohol. Now, this is what proof? Let's take a peek. This is, of course, it's a product of France, and it says it is, if I can get in the light, 40% alcohol. So this is 80 proof. So nothing too flashy, nothing too fantastic. But you can definitely smell the ethanol scent in there. Just having to cough. It's not that strong. And there is a little bit of a berry kind of fruit smell to it. So let's give it a try. Definitely harsher than the Douce. It has a sour, bitter kind of taste. It reminds me a little bit of sour candies, like Sour Patch Kids, and like I know they had those warheads that were popular when I was a kid. They were like supposed to be a hot candy, but they also made like a sour candy. And so it has a very sour, gummy candy kind of taste to it to me. But you can also taste the alcohol pretty strongly. So there's not as much flavor to cover up the alcohol taste. So again, not nearly as good as the Douce, but again, there is a price difference. This is $35.99. The Douce is $59.99 generally per bottle. And now that doesn't always mean that it's an indicator of quality, but in this case, it does hold true. So the Courvoisier, it's not bad. It would be best with food, I think. I feel like this is a social cognac, where maybe you'd have some cognac and appetizers, or some cognac as part of a light dinner. Not something real major, um, but that's what I think, and it's not bad. It's not an everyday drinker for me. Like the Douce, I could probably drink every day. It'd be pretty expensive to do that, but I could drink it every day. But this, I don't think I could, because I think too much of this, and it would start kind of like it'd be too sour for me. I'm not a big fan of sour quite so much. I like sweet and sour sauce. I like certain other things, sour mash whiskey, but I'm not a big fan of sour as a taste profile so much. Um, let's take another one just to make sure we're complete, and we get the follow up after our taste buds have adjusted. Yeah, definitely like a sour gummy candy, but yeah, a lot of alcohol taste. A lot of alcohol taste. So it's not something like I probably won't buy this again. It's not terrible, but it's not something that fits my taste profile. And it might take me a while to go through this bottle. Honestly, I'm not as keen on this, but it does fit. It makes sense why this was the preferred drink of the Ladies Man from Saturday Night Live, because it has that kind of tacky, and not to call it tacky like the brand. I don't want the brand to come after me and be like, "You called us tacky." Although it's in a French accent, because it's French, I can't do a French accent. I'm not even going to try because it would just be offensive. Um, but yeah, so it matches the price, I guess. And I know there's some things that are within that price that are perfectly fine, but compared to the more expensive cognacs that I have had, this isn't as good. There is something else I've had too, cognac wise, and I don't remember what it was. Rob and I had it. I don't know if it was a Hennessy. I don't remember. We had something else, and we went through most of the bottle, and we enjoyed it. I don't remember what it was called. No, it was a big name thing. I'm sure it'll come back to me, or I can go back through the old videos, or you can, and then you can tell me what it was in the next comments. But yeah, so that's the Courvoisier. I'll show you the bottle one more time. It's a nice bottle, nice decanter style bottle, long neck, and decent. Probably better with a meal. Probably better with food. I'll probably make some food here in a little bit and test it out and see how that goes. But as an everyday drinker, not really a fan. If you don't mind lacking in taste and you just kind of want the alcohol warmth and you want something that's a step above beer, then this is probably up your alley. But I wouldn't recommend draining this whole bottle for fun. So that's what I got for you. Keep an eye on this space. I had my first Robo review episode go up. Because of course the channel is expanding. It's becoming Spider Does Things rather than strictly just the Uncanny Spirits Club. I'm going to be doing my Robo reviews. I have to do more with the lighting in my house because I've discovered I do not have great lighting where I wanted to, especially here in the winter. It's darker outside, so there's less natural light coming in. And the lighting in certain spots of my house where I have the freedom to kind of set things up for video is not so great. So I'm going to try to address that and then do some Robo reviews and comparisons and that kind of thing. In the meantime, I've got other things lined up, looking to do some interviews with people, so keep an eye out. Big things are coming. This is how you do rebranding, people who are stalking. I know who you are. I know that you're watching. And this is how you do a rebranding. Not the way that you're doing it, which is to not do it at all. Anyway, ignore that little bit of drama and sniping. But yeah, that's what I got going on in the pipeline. There's going to be more things coming up. Keep an eye out, and I will see you guys next time. And until then, cheers.